What is up, everybody? If you like the content I put up, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave me a comment below letting me know what you think of today's video. What is up, everybody? STARSKREAM here, and today we are going to be looking at the newest epic in Dungeon Boss, and it's for... That's right. No, actually, it's for Alrakis, and I know that we were all sitting there the other day just thinking, who could really use a real power boost, a real, just Kickstarter? Who's not being used enough? And we all came to the same conclusion. Alrakis, of course. Yes, everybody's favorite Bone Daddy finally got their epic, and we are going to check it out. I did this time decide to get the epic myself instead of freeloading off of all my friends because, I had to move out of the house Sunday, right? So let's go through the stats, what it does, and then we will take you for a test run. So, info. New Alrakis epic, Staff of the Harbinger. Harbinger? Siri, how do you say Harbinger? How do you pronounce Harbinger?
Here's what Harbinger.
There's a silent H. Staff of the Harbinger. Attack. Ranged chaos attack that deals 1.3 times chaos damage and life steals 20% of the total damage dealt. So, cool. I don't know why it life steals. I feel like that has nothing really to do with his kit. I guess if you have his undead skin, then I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. It just looks like it does more damage. So moving on. Epic passive. Epic Draconic Heirloom. Oh look, there's another silent H again. Huh. At the end of the round, all enemies are dealt chaos damage, which is okay. Yes, that is what Draconic Heirloom does. Epic Draconic Heirloom deals 50% more damage to enemies with a Doom debuff. So that's the debuff that they get from the S3 and S1, I think. So I guess what I'm getting from this is just that he just does more damage. That's pretty much that seems to be the gist of it, which is very disappointing, actually. And obviously, I'm not trying to neg anybody out or be negative about the game. And I play the game, I like the game. I make content, I stream, and I've played this game since the Mesozoic era, right? But it is kind of disappointing that they would make an epic for a hero that not only is already way too used. I mean, he's already an S++ plus extra supersized tier hero. But aside from that, I mean, epics are a way that the developers of the game could very easily inject new stuff, new passives, new abilities, new meta changers without needing to release a completely new hero. They can invigorate a hero that was not being used that much, a la Agnon, for example. I mean, obviously Agnon wasn't terrible, right? But he really was not being used in high level PvP very much because he just was not that great. And with his epic, now all of a sudden he's a friggin' god, and now not everybody, but a lot of people are using him now. Me being one of those people, right? So, granted, he didn't have a massive impact on the game at large, but he did, all of a sudden now he was very usable, and now there are team compositions that can be based kind of around his abilities. And I feel like it's a really big missed opportunity for the developers to be able to add an epic to somebody who's maybe not being used very much, and either add new class abilities, so to speak, or just something that could shake things up a little bit without, again, needing to release a band-aid of a new hero on a meta, which has kind of been their MO lately, right? So that's just my opinion on it. You might think something different. Yeah, it's not super overpowered, which is great, I guess, because he's already an extremely powerful hero. But that said, the argument could be made that it is overpowered because it was given to a hero that's already extremely strong and just made them do a lot more damage, which is basically what this is. And I mean, there's not really a whole lot to look at with him. I got the smaller package because I'm a cheapskate, right? But so I only got to level 5, but you'll notice on here that it's like, it didn't like change much. Like now he just has this. Cool. Enemies who have the Doom debuff do receive 50% more damage. So if he gets off his S3, now his end of turn heirloom will do extra damage. And now his chaos missile, whatever, does a little bit extra damage with some lifesteal, right? So I don't know. The way I feel about this epic is that, like, if you're at the top upper echelon of PvP and you maybe need a little bit of help beating, you know, extremely difficult defenses that you're encountering, some of those like meta top of the line defenses, then yeah, I could see this helping a lot. And, you know, those type of people wanting to get it, me included, right? Like this might help a lot with some defenses that I've encountered that I've had trouble with in the past. But I don't really see this being like something where I'm like, man, you guys need to get this epic because, like, you know, it'll allow you to do this and use this type of team and do this, because like you're really gonna do the exact, like, it's not gonna change any of your team comps. You're gonna use the exact same teams that you're using with Alrakis before, or not if you weren't using them, but like you have the same defenses and the same offenses. He just does extra damage down. Cool. Yay. Right. But you know, aside from that, why don't we I don't know if we went over, but he got defense, attack, max health. Cool. The stats aren't really like what people really are super concerned about with Alrakis. He does have good stats, but it's like more so, you know, are his abilities that are what really carries him, right? So we can take him for a run really quick and we can just see how he does. And secret, I actually already recorded this video that we're talking about right now. This is my third time. I almost didn't record this video because the first time I went to record, I forgot to hit the record button and didn't record anything. The second time I recorded, the audio was completely corrupted. So I almost broke the surrounding universe around me in rage after that second recording was not good. But I had some Scream juice, I cooled off, I read some sonnets, and now I am back. But I think what we should do is watch just some of those PvP matches that I had done in the previous 2 attempts at recording this video, because a couple of them were pretty good. So we can just take a look at, let's say, for example, this match here, right? So this is the meta defense right now. Like, I feel like 8 out of 10 defenses I encounter are this exact build, right? So normally I don't bring this team versus this defense, but in this case I did, because obviously I'm trying to show off Alrakis. The other team, because I know that you're going to ask in the comments, that I would use for this is going to be Archon, Dagon, Serenity, and Astrid, which was given to me by somebody during one of my streams. So I appreciate you helping me with that, and now I am past whoever you were, and I'm passing that on to my viewers. Now, I do believe it was somebody in my guild, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, what you're going to see here is this defense obviously is very beefy. Does a lot of damage output, and the reason I normally don't bring this offense versus them is because they can kill my Agnon, and I don't want my Agnon to die because he's integral to the way that I win my match. You'll notice that I use Draconic Anger. That is very important because that applies the Doom debuff to the enemy team, and at the end of the turn, you're going to see that he absolutely friggin' obliterates them, right? So I don't know, it's hard to tell if they would have died without that extra 50%, but I'm sure that it didn't hurt, you know, well, it hurt them, but it didn't hurt his damage, and it definitely I would rather have the extra 50% than not have the extra 50%. Aside from that, we had a few other matches that I pretty much just wiped everybody out pretty easily. This one here was a little bit different. Now, I did win, but not really in the way, not the same way as I felt like I should have. You'll notice in this one here that This is a team where I might have been able to just solo this with Agnon because he's that busted, but that's for a different video. But you'll notice, like, I kind of expected my Alrakis to just wipe them at the end of the turn, and he very much didn't. And so I'm not really sure why that is. I don't know if they were just super beefy. I didn't check the runes, because who has time for that, right? But yeah, I was a little bit survived. I was a little bit surprised that they survived, and they survived with only taking, 30%, 40% of their health, about 50% of their health. So I was surprised by that. So I'm not really sure if they were just built specifically to combat chaos damage, or if it's just not really doing as much damage as it should. There's been many occasions in the past where these things haven't necessarily worked as advertised, and things have had to get fixed, such as, things just not doing the correct damage multipliers, or just not doing extra damage at all when they're supposed to, or, just, I don't know. So I'm not really sure if it's working correctly or not. It seems to be doing more damage. I'm going to assume it is. My final verdict on this thing is going to be, if you need a little bit extra damage against high tier teams, grab it, I guess, right? But I'm a little disappointed in the way that it seems like they just used this as a way to get some money, because they know that Alrakis is very, very used, and they're, so a lot of people are going to buy it. And I'm disappointed that they didn't use it as an opportunity to help a less used hero, or to rework a hero, or to inject some new, even if they would have given Alrakis like a cool dragon passive or something like that, that would have been cool. But that is not the case. But anyways, those of you that have been asking me, I've been getting a lot of people asking me, like, hey, how come I don't know when you're streaming? And, why don't you just post in chat that you're streaming? And the reason I don't is because I feel that it's very spammy to do that. So I try to avoid posting in line and stuff like that, hey, I'm going online, because I'd like to stream more often, and that would just get really, really old to the people that don't like to watch me stream, right? So what you can do is make sure that you're subscribed, obviously, and if you are not subscribed, and if you are subscribed and you're still not getting the notifications, it's because you have not clicked the little bell button that's right next to the subscribe button. So if you click that button, then you will receive a notification on your mobile device that I am streaming, or that I've uploaded a new video. And I promise that it won't be, or I can't promise that you won't be annoyed by it, but I can promise that, I'm really only streaming, like, let's say 3 times a week, and I record a video maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. Lately it's been a little bit less, but that's kind of the schedule that I'd like to be on. So realistically, you're not going to be getting notifications all the time, but you will get a notification anytime I'm live, and you will get to join us and the escapades that we go on, and get to watch me lose versus very, very easy defense, and win versus hard defenses, and go on streaks, and so on and so forth. So I do hope to see you guys there at my streams. I will be streaming specifically with this epic a lot in the next week. Come drop in and say hi. Until next time, I will see you later.